What is up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Table Spot. My name is Metal Mike, and I'm joined here, as always, with the man with the best beer in the business. He is the host of the Boom every Wednesday night, my co-host here every Monday night, Mr. Cam G. Cam, how you doing on this wonderful Monday night?
Man, we just got off of a very big Sunday with the Super Bowl and things like that. So lots of excitement, this weekend. And then, like I said, Monday Night Raw tonight, gearing up for the Elimination Chamber, which is later this month. And yeah, we're in full swing, I think, for WrestleMania season. So very excited for that. So yeah, I'm here to talk about some Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, man, big night last night. As everybody knows by now, should know by now, Seattle Seahawks winning Super Bowl 60. You know, the logo for 61 already came out. It looks like a pretty nice logo. Looks like a nice logo. It is. It's a nice logo. You know, but that's nor here or there, man. We're here to talk some pro wrestling. Monday Night Raw taking place out in Cleveland, Ohio. We're going to get right into it. Cam, as I always ask you, what would you grade tonight?
I got to give it another D+. Like I said, another just lukewarm. Just feels like just a low effort, half baked kind of program tonight for Monday Night Raw. I think they're just really going through the motions until we get the full participants filled out for the men's and women's elimination chamber. They seem to be zeroed in on that, and the rest of the show just kind of suffers, I think, from that because nothing else interesting, I think, is going on outside of that. So yeah, pretty average, I think, Monday Night Raw.
It did feel like tonight they just kind of just skated by. Yeah. It did. Like, it doesn't feel like they really accomplished anything. Absolutely nothing. I mean, did they accomplish stuff? They did. They got Elimination Chamber set up. Elimination Chamber, the event, is basically set up and ready to go. We're going to have the men's chamber. We're going to have the women's chamber. We're going to get Punk against Finn Balor, which we're going to talk about in a little bit for the World Heavyweight Championship. And then we're getting Becky Lynch against AJ Lee, which we're going to start talking about first tonight. So they pretty much set the card for Elimination Chamber. It's done. And they accomplished that literally in like hour number 1 tonight.
Yeah.
Minus the fact that they have to have these qualifying matches for the chamber. That's what they got to do. That's the only thing they have to do. But for the most part, when it comes to the card of the Elimination Chamber event itself, they have it filled out. It's going to be 4 matches. If they fit a 5th match in there, great. Like, who's it going to be? But I don't see the chamber match being less than 30 minutes long. I'm thinking like 45 minutes at least. And that's an hour and a half of the show itself.
Yeah.
And do they really run the Elimination Chamber event as long as they did, Royal Rumble?
They could.
They could, but I don't think they do. If they did that, then, man, then Elimination Chamber, the event, that would be something to talk about. That would definitely be something to talk about. Them making Elimination Chamber 4 hours long for 4 matches.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it for Survivor Series, though, but we did it for the Royal Rumble, But I think I'm with you tonight, man. I got to give it a D+ as well. I mean, I feel like they didn't accomplish anything. I started watching Monday Night Raw literally 15 minutes late. I didn't even realize it was 8 o'clock when 8 o'clock came around. And I'm like, oh, shit, I got to watch Raw. Man, oops. I was so deep into playing Fortnite and, kind of like lost track of time in a sense. But speaking of starting off with Becky Lynch and AJ Lee, we seen the top of the show. They were showing CM Punk and AJ Lee walking in. Becky Lynch kind of showed up behind them. They didn't realize it. So Becky Lynch kicked off the show, and I got to say this. She seemed like she was losing her shit. She lost it, man. I'm serious. AJ Lee is living rent-free in Becky Lynch's head. Definitely living rent-free in Becky Lynch's head, I think. Yeah. But yeah, Becky said that she wasn't happy to see AJ Lee. AJ said that she was just here to support her friend Maxine. That was it. She had no intentions of, even dealing with Becky Lynch. They had a back and forth about who was better than who. Becky Lynch even called AJ Lee some names like she was trying to be like a cute little chihuahua that was ruining her life. And AJ asked her the question, like, if I were to beat you in a one-on-one match, you're calling yourself the greatest, the best. What would that make me if I beat you? And I haven't had a singles match in a decade. So if we were to do this, it would have to be special. It'd have to mean something. So the match gets made up for Elimination Chamber for the Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch, AJ Lee. Cam, my question for you is do you think they should have just waited to put this on WrestleMania? Do you think Elimination Chamber is the best fit for this match? And your thoughts on this segment?
For me, this segment really just didn't connect with me. I don't know. It just felt kind of off. But by the way, we have another name from Virgo.
Yes, I got.
Welcome to the stream, Virgo.
I got it.
Secondly, I don't mind the match. I don't mind the match being made for Elimination Chamber. I think it's about time because I thought this match would have happened a long time ago. Personally, I do see my prediction a long time ago was I did see AJ Lee. I almost said AJ Styles. AJ Lee winning the Women's Intercontinental Championship from Becky Lynch. I do see that happening eventually. And I don't even think she's going to have a long reign. It might just be, a quick flip to AJ Lee and then it's back on Becky Lynch. So yeah, I mean, it's an okay match to fill out the mid card section of Elimination Chamber, but I could easily see this ending in a DQ, a roll up, Becky cheating, something like that. And then we get the rematch at WrestleMania night 1 or night 2 of WrestleMania. So yeah, this is just a setup. This is just the part 1 of them getting to WrestleMania. WrestleMania, I think, is the ultimate goal that they're looking at right here. So this is just really the beginning of their in-ring stuff, one-on-one for that championship. So yeah, it's a fine match. I don't expect a whole lot. I think they're going to save a lot of the big stuff for WrestleMania. So
I mean, the last there haven't been many times to where we see. I think it's what, scratch that. I think it's 50-50. There have been times, and there have been times that we haven't seen. A match gets set up for Elimination Chamber or whatever event would be before WrestleMania. Back in the day, it was, I think, No Mercy was the event before WrestleMania, before we got Elimination Chamber. And they would make a match for that, and then it ends up on the WrestleMania card because of the continuation of the storyline, or something happens at the event to where it continues at WrestleMania. One in the past that I remember was when John Cena came back at the Royal Rumble as a surprise number 30, won the Rumble, didn't want to wait till Mania, challenged Randy Orton. Randy Orton kicks Cena in the balls, basically, and then it becomes a triple threat with Triple H involved at WrestleMania 24. So I could see them doing this to kind of prolong this storyline. I could. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I have a problem with it. I don't. I mean, it'd be good to see AJ Lee, especially at WrestleMania, because it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And if they end the match at Elimination Chamber with a DQ or count out or whatever, then it would just fit the story. I mean, Becky Lynch, again, she looked like she was losing her shit tonight. I could see her getting DQ'd at Elimination Chamber. And AJ Lee saying, like, no, we can't end this like this. We got to win. We got to end this with a legit winner, not some disqualification because you lost your fucking mind and hit me with a chair or whatever. So I could see it. I could see the continuation for WrestleMania and it end up on the card. I could. Not bad. So, next up, we had the tag team title matches. I'm going to kind of go in order with this tonight. They really didn't do anything that really made things kind of blend in together tonight. They really were just all over the place in a sense.
Yeah.
When you look at it, so it's very rare that we go in order of everything on the show because we try and put everything together. Tonight, it was just like,
yeah,
Becky Lynch and AJ. Then we get the tag team title match next between the Usos being challenged by Tozawa and Otis. I think
we normally, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
But we normally structure the show of, I think, importance and excitement.
Oh, yeah.
The stuff that was the most important and the most exciting, and then go into the stuff that was less exciting or less important. So,
and tonight, what was truly exciting?
I mean, for me, the only thing I can think of that really caught my attention was Punk and Finn Balor. That was really it.
Let's talk about it then. Let's do it. CM Punk, Finn Balor. CM Punk was set up to have an interview tonight with Michael Cole in the middle of the ring, and he was interrupted by Finn Balor before CM Punk can even come out. And Finn Balor said that he wants a match with CM Punk. He wants to necessarily finish the job that he started a few weeks ago, leaving CM Punk laying in the middle of the ring on an episode of Monday Night Raw. And then CM Punk came out, Finn Balor left the ring, and they were just pretty much jaw-jacking with each other. I mean, they were both fired up. Adam Pearce comes out, says, no, this isn't going to happen. We're not going to jeopardize the main event of WrestleMania. This match is done. Finn Balor, you had your shot. You lost it. That's it. CM Punk said no. He wants a fight. I'm willing to fight. I'm going to be a fighting champion. So the match basically is made for Elimination Chamber. Finn Balor against CM Punk. That's match number 5.
There you go.
That's match number 5. Yeah, the 2 chamber matches, women's intercontinental title match, world title. Never mind. That's 4. That's 4 matches. What am I missing? Am I missing a match? No.
I don't think so.
No, that's it. 4 matches. Okay, I thought
I
there were 5.
men's, and then this
Men's,
match,
women's,
that's
IC,
4.
and world title. Yeah, so yeah.
So unless they add Drew in a WWE Championship match, that's only 4.
True. But CM Punk says, no, want to be a fighting champion? Let me fight him. Let me kick his ass and finish the job. So Adam Pearce says, fine. Don't make me regret this, basically. And CM Punk and Finn Balor both walk away pretty happy. Michael Cole then asked CM Punk, like, why would you jeopardize the main event at WrestleMania with Roman Reigns for this? And CM Punk said he doesn't feel like he's jeopardizing anything. He is going to be a fighting champion, and he is going to take on any challenger that wants to come and face him because he wants to show the importance that he's chasing, the importance of the championship and his reign, and he's chasing the greatness of trying to beat even 1% more of his title reign when he held it for over 400 days. So Finn Balor, CM Punk, Elimination Chamber, World Heavyweight title. Cam, your thoughts?
First of all, there's a lot to unbox here. So, and this is going back to, I really didn't get to talk about just the direction of Finn Balor from last week. So I like how they're going back to like his NXT days and his independent days with the video package they showed last week and whatnot have you. And just the direction they're going with him right now. It's very Bayley-esque, what they were kind of doing with Bayley originally. Now even in saying that, there's still that bigger part of me that's like, I don't see him going anywhere. They haven't done anything with him in a while. Again, I think they're on the right path, separating him from the Judgment Day and just highlighting him as a solo guy. I think that's the right move. I think that's the right direction. It's all about whether or not they're actually going to do something significant, or just once again have him lose, have him get to the big dance and have him lose, and then he just ultimately goes back into the back of the line. Tonight, I loved it. I loved how he just interrupted the whole, the scheduled programming essentially, and just was like, no. I'm not going to be overlooked. I'm tired of being pushed around. I like that. I like how he's literally just inserting himself into the world title picture. Who no matter the Royal Rumble winner, number one contendership, all that. I like that because again, it's disrupting just like I said, just the route or the road to WrestleMania. Now, a couple of issues I had with this was the fact that, I mean, you can't really say that, Roman is weaseling his way in. I mean, he earned his right. I mean, he won the Royal Rumble. So I was kind of like, I don't know if I agree with you there, Finn. He didn't really weasel his way in to anything. He won the right to win, to go to WrestleMania to challenge the world champion of his choice. And then what Adam Pearce said, it was like Adam Pearce was like refusing to give him another opportunity, when it was like, and he had said it was too late. Like he had his opportunity passed. And I'm like, dude, if you really look at it, once again, number one, it's still early in the year, and you technically still have 2 other opportunities to earn a right to challenge a world champion. I mean, like I said, I know, Money in the Bank is in August this year, but Money in the Bank is still there. And then, like I said, you have the Elimination Chamber, which he's not currently in, to be given the opportunity to qualify. So I'm like, I don't understand why he's saying his opportunity is gone. That's kind of strange to me. But other than that, I really liked it. I liked how Punk gave him his flowers. Punk's like, oh no, I'm actually putting you priority over Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So I like that. Again, they're setting him up, they're propping him up very well. I just don't know how to feel about another loss because I don't see him beating Punk on the road to WrestleMania. They've already got this locked in with Punk and Roman, and what they started with that promo from last week. I don't see them just dropping that and then just refocusing their attention now to being Finn Balor and Roman Reigns. I just don't see that. I would love for them to throw a wrench into the plans and make all of us just be shocked that you know where I'm going with this.
My wheels were turning during that segment when all this, because I thought the same thing. I was like, they're setting up Finn Balor to lose again. But I finish your thought because I have an idea and I want to see how much you like it.
I don't know what to do with the actual finish for or at Elimination Chamber with this match. Again, to me, like I said, I think a clean victory for CM Punk is just ultimately going to hurt and stunt the momentum that you have going with Finn Balor right now. So it needs to end in a DQ. It needs to end in a count out or something like that. Because then I would insert him in the triple. I would make it a triple threat at Mania with him, Roman, and Punk. That's what I would do. Because like I said, you have such great momentum going right now with Finn Balor.
They do.
So after Chamber, if he loses, when he ultimately loses, what then? He just goes to the back of the line and just disappears again. That's my fear.
So I believe me, you know me. I think of out of the box things that some people sometimes, most of the time, disagree with because they're crazy ideas, right? And you know me, I'm always booking things ahead of time. So before this segment, we had Liv Morgan, Raquel, and Dom backstage, and pretty much Dom said to Finn, like, JD's going to come back soon. You guys can go after the tag titles and everything will be great. And Finn told them, like, no, like, I am not just going to sit back and let this happen. And then he goes out and does this, right? So that little interaction with Dom kind of got me thinking, like, I have a feeling there's more to this. Because Finn's going to lose that Elimination Chamber. We know that. That's happening. Whether he wins or whether he wins by DQ, he's not walking out with the championship. Open Elimination Chamber up with this match. Don't open it up with a chamber match. I know that's the idea, and I know that's the game plan because open, close with a chamber match.
Yeah.
Open the night up with this match. Have Finn lose. The main event can be the men's chamber match. And Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio ends up qualifying, but Finn Balor ends up doing something to where he fills in for Dom and goes and wins the chamber and takes on Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Instead of a triple threat between him, CM Punk, and Roman, have him go after Drew McIntyre. Because fans are starting to connect with Finn. You said it yourself. You're liking the path they're giving Finn Balor.
Yeah.
So he's starting to get that fandom behind him.
Yeah.
He could be the babyface in this match.
Could be.
We may see the Demon.
I don't mind that.
We might see the Demon King come back. I mean, you got to think it's been 4 years since we've seen the Demon King when he took on Edge.
Yeah.
4 years ago?
I think it was about 4 now. Yeah.
It was WrestleMania 39, and we're at 42. So 3 years ago. So why not? Why not him and Drew for the title?
I could see it.
I mean, it'd be too big main event because if you look at it right now, a lot of fans are leaning towards the fact of it not being Drew and Cody. You know what I mean? Like, and you're right. They're on a very good momentum path with Finn Balor. Why put him in a position to lose this momentum with losing to CM Punk and then just being put at the back of the line waiting for JD to come back win the tag titles? Like, yeah, you could probably pick up some momentum with him and JD, but it's going to be him and JD, not just him. And let's face it, Finn Balor, even though he doesn't look it or move like it in the ring, he's almost 50 years old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, he's like what, 40? He was 35 when he came into WWE. He's been in WWE for 10, 11 years now. So, yeah, he's like 45, 46 years old. He's up there.
And he's 44.
Okay, I was close. But still the point. Like, you don't want to just keep sticking him in, like, settling him down in tag team matches.
Yeah.
Like, we got to initially get, and I don't know if you agree with me on this or not, but we got to initially get a Finn Balor world title run somewhere.
I mean, I would think, you know?
I mean, because the opportunity, like, just think of what we would have gotten if he would have been able to have that initial Universal Championship run when he won the inaugural championship.
Yeah.
You know, just think of what we would have gotten if he didn't get injured. And then he's had what? Two opportunities at a world title since coming back. He had one against Roman and I think one against Brock since coming back. Two guys that he had a decent match with, but it was like you knew he wasn't winning.
Yeah.
Like, put him in a position where it's believable to where he could win. Drew McIntyre is the perfect fit. And again, people are not too satisfied with the idea of Cody Rhodes going after Drew McIntyre. You know, now I personally see it being Cody and Drew at Mania.
Yeah,
I do. I do. But why not put Finn Balor in that position? Lose the Punk the beginning of the night at Chamber, and then in the main event, something happens to Dom because of Finn, and he inserts himself into the Chamber match and takes that spot and goes in and wins it. Gets a world title match at WrestleMania against Drew McIntyre. We'll just
see why not.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't know. I thought of this after that segment, and I was like, man, like, it's like you're trying to give Finn Balor that singles momentum again, but there's just so many roadblocks. Like, is this the best time to be doing this, knowing that CM Punk is going to be taking on Roman at WrestleMania? Like, if you're trying to build momentum with this guy and trying to break him away from the Judgment Day, which is clearly what you're trying to do is get them to be done. Like, why are you going to put him in this position then? After he cut that pretty decent promo back during the holidays. Because you have Raquel cutting promos by herself too. Like, she's going to break away. So it's pretty much an obvious that the Judgment Day is on its last leg. It's run its course.
It's got to be.
And tonight didn't even feel like they were the Judgment Day. They just made it seem like they were a couple friends hanging out in a fucking locker room talking. You know, you didn't get that Judgment Day feel tonight.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll definitely have to see what happens with Finn Balor. I mean, obviously, again, he's going to lose at Chamber, but let's see what they do with him after this, because I feel like they're setting him up to not even be successful with this, and hopefully I'm wrong on that. Let's stick with the Judgment Day. See, it's a good thing that I said something about about going in order tonight, because now we're in that little bit of momentum. Like, talk about the more important stuff first. You know, Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio's came out, and Dominic Mysterio, you know, he kind of cut Liv Morgan off at the beginning of this promo because why? He got her flowers, some flowers and candy, you know, because of Valentine's Day coming up on Saturday and everything like that. But anyways, Stephanie Vakir came out and very quickly interrupted them, and her and Dom had a back and forth in Spanish. So Dom was supposed to translate to Liv what Stephanie said, and he was like, don't want to tell you what she said. And then he said something back to Stephanie. Liv asked, what did you say? And Stephanie said that, you know, he she called him a bitch, basically. That's what she called him. So yeah, then Liv Morgan said called Stephanie a bitch as well, and Dom got shit slapped out of him. This was kind of an awkward situation. This was a very awkward situation. Yeah. That's why I'm stumbling along my words here, because this is a very awkward segment. This is weird. This was an awkward segment, but yeah, I mean, Stephanie's saying that she hopes Liv Morgan picks her. Why are they prolonging? Cam, I wonder, can you answer for me? Why are they prolonging who Liv Morgan picks?
Well, it's as I said at the top of the show, it's WrestleMania season. I think we're in full swing now. And one of the WrestleMania winners has to have that prolonged story. Oh, who are they going to pick? It's a part of their programming. It's a part of getting people to tune in. If she picks too soon, it's just like, okay, that's said and done. Now we got to wait till April till the actual match. So that's why they're doing it. It's just to, I don't know, just to, prolong the actual story, I guess, of which, one of the WrestleMania or Royal Rumble winners, and who they're picking at WrestleMania. But it's obvious. I don't see her going after Jade Cargill. That makes no sense. She looks like the underdog going against Jade Cargill. Yeah. It looks ridiculous. So yeah, it's obviously going to be Stephanie Vercare. If she picks Jade, then she would be that would pretty much be her resignation to the Judgment Day, because I don't see the rest of Judgment Day going to SmackDown, and she would actively be leaving Dominic Mysterio on Raw, because I don't see him going to SmackDown, because he would not only be going to SmackDown, but he would be taking the Intercontinental Championship, which is primarily a Raw championship, to SmackDown. So that's a double negative with Dominic Mysterio, and I just don't see it happening. So yeah, it's definitely going to be her and Stephanie, I think, at Mania, which to me, if you ask me, that's an awkward match, just because the clash of styles. Yeah. And I think and tonight was evidence. The story or lack thereof that they're going to be able to produce from now until Mania is going to be very lackluster.
Yeah.
This was an awkward segment, and I feel bad for Stephanie Vercare, because it's not her fault. They just don't put a microphone in her hand very often. No. Nor do I think have they worked with her a whole lot on her promos, or structuring her promos, or what they should and should not sound like. So that's kind of an issue for me. So
I mean, we watch different wrestling companies, outside of AEW and WWE and TNA. And when you watch these different companies like New Japan or CMLL or AAA, their promo style is significantly different than what you get from a nationally branded company.
Yeah,
definitely. Like the style that they cut their promos in is almost like, it's two people sitting on a couch having a conversation. It's not like a regular wrestling promo, and I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. It's just the way that they conduct their stories and promos, and it makes sense to the original and regular viewers of the product on how they do it. So no slight on them. Not putting any slight on how any other company does their promo style. I mean, even the National Wrestling Alliance, the NWA, they have their own style of promo. They do their promos in a different style than a bigger company. So Stephanie, I think, is so used to, with the way her career path has been, she is so used to that type of promo styling opposed to the WWE promo styling. And if you think of it too, her transition into WWE was a very quick transition. I mean, 1 week you were watching AEW and she was in the ring with Mercedes Moné, and 2 weeks later she's in a WWE ring. Like, she did not have a big transition into WWE. And she was right in the middle of everything. She didn't have like a Penta type, warm into the company type of thing. She's, Queen of the Ring tournament, going for the world championship, everything. She was thrown right into the mix. And for the most part, I think she's done pretty good with it. But the promo thing, it's rough. No slight on her. And believe me, there's a lot of people, and I've done it myself in the past, where people that don't really cut too many promos or don't get a microphone put in their hand very often, you sit there and pretty much say like, oh, Lyra Valkyria is the perfect example. Lyra Valkyria, I always sit here and talk about her inconsistencies of telling a story because she doesn't have the timelining right. And can you slight her for them? Not really, because it's all about the producer trying to help her get things right. But Stephanie, she's so used to the different promo styling, I think, and how she conducts promos. So, I mean, she is, I think she is an exception to the fact, and she's doing the best that she can with what she does. I think at the end of the day, though, what gets people fired up is the way she ends a promo. And the way she ended tonight was, she called both of them a bitch, and she slapped the shit out of Dom, and she goes, I hope you pick me. And that's it. That's all she needed to say. And I think that's all that needed to be said from her. Did she really need to have that back and forth with Dom? Probably not. All she really had to do was come out and say, I hope you pick me. And then maybe slap the shit out of Dom. Because it's funny. You got to get that little comical thing in there. So I don't know if I really like the fact that they're prolonging Liv Morgan, though. I mean, right now, both situations really don't make sense. They don't. Because if she goes after Jade Cargill, like you said, if she goes, it's an uneven matchup, number one. It doesn't look like it would be. I mean, could you say it'd be a good match? Jade Cargill towers over her, though. I mean, yeah. Like, aesthetically, it's like Liv Morgan should get her ass kicked in this match. Right. Her and Stephanie, though, are in the even playing field, but Stephanie is a little more technical with her wrestling style.
Yeah.
So technically, Stephanie Valkyria should kick her ass too. So this prolonging thing, I get it, but it's just not, for me as a fan, not working. Just have her pick somebody and let's move on with this. Don't prolong this thing, because it's just not. I don't feel like it's working. But I could be wrong. We got 68 days until WrestleMania. I mean, of course she's going to pick who she wants sooner, but she can wait until after Chamber. She could probably pick at the Chamber. They'll probably have like a Liv Morgan segment before a match, and she'll be like, "Oh, I picked this person." Like, oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Liv picked. Ooh, Oh, man. Gunther was backstage, and he was being interviewed, and especially after what happened last week with Dragon Lee, and he got asked about his thoughts on Dragon Lee, and he said he doesn't care about Dragon Lee. His focus is WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania, and qualifying for the Elimination Chamber so he can go and face Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. I mean, Cam, do you see Gunther possibly doing so, winning the Chamber and going against Drew McIntyre? Or do you think that would be a bad move on their part to have that happen?
It would only be a bad move just because, of what he's got going on right now with Dragon Lee. They've done a great job, I think, of keeping Gunther away from the World Championship, or any championship for that matter. Because that was always the kind of the curiosity. The dude's been a champion for like what 90% of his run in between NXT and the main roster. So this is the longest stint I think thus far that he hasn't had a championship over his shoulder. So, but what they've done thus far, because he's no longer really the ring general. Now he's the career killer. So just that, slight moniker switch and basically making him probably the most hated heel in the company right now, I think is fantastic work right now. It really is. But again, it's always about, we can't help it. It's always about what they do next. So I think having an active wrestler who's not on some retirement tour or looking for their last match in the next couple of months or whatever, or looking for that last chance at glory or whatever, you got someone who, again, I think they've done a pretty good job at highlighting here as of recently. And like I said, his tag team partner who had his last match against Gunther, again, for him, it's the same thing. What's next? Now you got to highlight him as a singles guy. So I like the feud that they have going on right now. I'm a little upset that they didn't do more with this tonight. You could have had Dragon Lee attack Gunther backstage during this segment, and had him look strong going into whatever is next for their feud. So do they drag this out till Mania? I don't know. I don't know if it's big enough. I don't know if the feud requires that. Maybe Chamber, maybe if they want to push a fifth match, or maybe Backlash if they push it that far. So I could definitely see that for one of those matches in between now and WrestleMania. I think would be good. You could easily see a series of matches too between these 2-3 matches maybe. Overall though, I think it's a good placement right now. Again, you always got to add that mystery of, could Gunther win the Elimination Chamber? Could they just completely drop this thing with Dragon Lee and then he's on his way to WrestleMania to challenge the WWE champion? We don't know, but as of right now, I don't see that being the move. And I personally believe that it would be a bad move just because of what they've started. I wouldn't want to see them just drop this out of thin air and then go a completely different direction.
I'm trying to look something up. Trying to get a statistic thing here for a second. Because I agree with you. So Gunther made his main roster debut on April 8th, 2022. Okay, so April. So that's 4 months into the year, right? So April 8th, 2022 is when Gunther made his main roster debut. He won the Intercontinental title June 18th. 2 months and 10 days later. Yo, what's up? How's it going? Thank you for joining us tonight. How's everything going? Yeah, so 2 months into him being on the main roster. And he lost the NXT championship to Braun Breaker like 2 weeks before that. So he went literally like 2.5 months without a championship. That's it. And then he holds the Intercontinental Championship for over 500 days, right?
Yeah.
Then he loses it. Then he goes on and wins the World Championship, 2 months later? Like, the guy's been a champion for 90 plus % of his time in WWE in a whole, NXT and even in NXT UK. He was the NXT UK champion for a long time.
I forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah, because he beat didn't he beat Pete Dunne for it?
Yeah, and Pete Dunne had a really long championship run too. Yeah.
Yeah, Pete Dunne was the champion for like 400 or 500 days.
Yeah.
So that's good. Again, appreciate you stopping in. We were talking about Monday Night Raw from Cleveland, Ohio tonight. We are on the road to the Elimination Chamber and then WrestleMania. So yeah, thank you for joining us tonight here as we talk, currently talking about Gunther, who, again, has been a champion in WWE for 90 plus % of his career in WWE, which is nuts, even going back to his UK days.
Yeah.
It's insane. I mean, I like what they're doing with this Dragon Lee thing. I think it's more so for Dragon Lee because there was always that question of, with AJ Styles being done, what is Dragon Lee going to do now? Yeah. You know what I mean? They're keeping him relevant to being on TV. It's not even being relevant to a story or anything like it. It's just him being seen. And that's what they need to do to keep him going, is keep him being seen. And I honestly would not mind that if they did add a fifth match to Elimination Chamber, we get Dragon Lee and Gunther. Do I see that being a WrestleMania match? No. Hell no. No. Gunther's got to face somebody much bigger than Dragon Lee at WrestleMania at this point. I agree. Yeah. If he didn't win the world title as soon as he did, if he didn't hold the Intercontinental title reign, I don't want to take away from him. But if he didn't have the world title as many times as he did and hold it as soon as he did, and he was kind of on that path, Dragon Lee could have been like that little roadblock before he gets to his first world title. But instead it was, let's have him be a world champion. Now let's go have him retire guys like AJ Styles, John Cena, Goldberg. So it's almost like he's got to face somebody of the relevance level of John Cena, Goldberg, AJ Styles. And you know who I kind of have a feeling it could be? Randy Orton. For some reason, I feel like somewhere along the lines in the next month, we could see Gunther and Randy Orton have some type of deal. Because what is Orton doing right now? He's not doing anything. Yeah.
Nothing. Zero.
The Legend Killer versus the Legend, what are they calling Gunther now?
The career killer.
The career killer against the Legend Killer. There's your headlined match for WrestleMania where they give you that special headline. There you go. Because, CM Punk and Roman Reigns are supposed to be one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. Guaranteed that title gets up there. But there you go. Legend Killer against Career Killer. Randy Orton. See if it happens.
I can see it.
Would you be mad at it?
I wouldn't be opposed to it because I can already see. As soon as you said that, I can already it already popped in my head of the setup. Gunther beats Dragon Lee, Chamber, Backlash, whatever. Still looking for an opponent at WrestleMania. He comes out, cuts a promo, basically calling out the locker room. Like, who's left? Who else do I have to beat? And then again, you just have Orton pop up out of nowhere. Boom, RKO's him. Boom. That's your start to your build to Mania.
There you go.
Simple,
easy, insert, done. Yeah. And it'd be a great match too. Yeah, it would be.
I don't think it'd be a bad match.
Yeah. I think it would be a great match. I think it would be a good match. I mean, do you open the night with it? No, you don't have to open the night with it. But that match,
third match on the card, probably.
Yeah, that match is pretty much an any placement match. I mean, minus the main event because you're going to put a championship there, but yeah, it could be anywhere. That's why I'm thinking Randy Orton and Gunther. I mean, because I don't see Gunther being in a world title match at Mania. I don't, not this year.
Yeah,
because they seem too involved. I mean, you already got CM Punk and Roman. Now it's who's gonna face Drew, and maybe like we talked about, maybe the thought of Finn Balor doing what I talked about. Cody Rhodes seems to be the favorite for that to be happening right now. Maybe LA Knight sneaks in there and gets a title shot. Would it be too late for LA Knight? Do you think at this point?
We'll get to LA Knight. I've got thoughts about LA Knight. That's the main event. So
I mean, let's do it. Yeah, main event tonight was a chamber qualifier between Penta, LA Knight, and Austin Theory. And before this, Adam Pearce had a backstage segment with the Vision and said that nobody gets involved tonight. He doesn't want to see anybody get involved. He wants to see Austin Theory go out and do it himself. Austin Theory was even standing there saying, easy win tonight. He was literally saying Penta and LA Knight were an easy win.
Sure.
Austin Theory was saying this. Now, not to take away from Austin Theory and his abilities to show that he is a good wrestler, but you were in the ring with Penta and LA Knight. Easy win?
Mm-hmm. I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Well, the Vision came in and attacked LA Knight, but then the Masked Man did show up and attacked Austin Theory, pretty much helping LA Knight hit his finishing move onto Austin Theory, and Austin Theory gets pinned by LA Knight. LA Knight is qualifying for the Elimination Chamber, so he is going to get a shot to go to WrestleMania to take on Drew McIntyre. If you have any thoughts on this triple threat, and the floor is yours on your LA Knight thought, because like you said, you have some stuff to say about that. So,
I mean, the match was the match. I knew it was either going to be between Theory or Knight. I really didn't see Penta being the one to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. Now, in terms of LA Knight, I laugh because once again they are setting him up for this opportunity, which at this point has to be like his 10th opportunity to even come close or fingertips away from getting his opportunity for a world championship, only to snatch the rug from underneath him yet again. I don't see him winning the Elimination Chamber. He is, to me, the biggest wild card out of that entire match. I won't even be surprised if they do something goofy like having him be the first one eliminated in this match. And everybody's just going to be like, are you serious? Why get us excited? Why get our hopes up? Why get us excited get him to qualify. Ended the night tonight on basically putting the exclamation point on that qualifying match, having LA Knight close out the show, get to Elimination Chamber, and then have him be the first person out of that match. I can see it. I'm envisioning it right now. Eliminated by who? It doesn't even matter. It's just the fact that he gets eliminated first. Now I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong. He could end up being the final two. It could come down to him and Cody.
Yeah.
But I don't see it. I definitely don't see it. So as much as I would love that, I would love for him to at least finally get the opportunity to be put in such a role or such a position to main event WrestleMania would be amazing. And a lot of people would probably just rejoice at the idea that he's even getting the opportunity finally. But I just don't see it happen. They have set him up too many times and have just again snatched away the opportunity time and time again. So
most recent was Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Right before SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Let's set him up for Saturday Night Main Event and have him have Seth Rollins fake an injury and have him pick up this big win against the world champion or the former world champion. And and Seth Rollins was Mr. Money in the Bank at the time. And there was all that talk about having the Money in the Bank briefcase on the line at that Saturday night's main event. Just imagine what that could have done for LA Knight. Like, yeah, the Money in the Bank briefcase
finally
is on the line, right? And then Seth fakes his injury and LA Knight wins, gets Money in the Bank. Like the opportunities that could have opened for LA Knight. And it's just you snatch it away from him. You had him face Roman when Roman was on his monster run. You knew he wasn't going to win there. Like, how many more times are they going to do this to LA Knight?
I don't know.
How many more fucking times are they going to do
Look
this?
how many times they did it to Drew before they finally just said, "Oh yeah, here you go, Drew."
Yeah, and it took for the world to shut down and Roman Reigns not to show up at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Or no, that was sorry, that wasn't him. That was Braun Strowman. Sorry. Because Drew won the Royal Rumble and he took on Brock Lesnar. That's right. So I was wrong on that. But it's still the point. It took the world to shut down.
Yeah.
For him to go and win the world title in the PC at WrestleMania. At the PC. In front of like 5 people who were working there that day.
Yeah.
And then you have him go out and win the world title at WrestleMania 40, only for Damian Priest to come out and cash in on him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I genuinely don't understand their thought process when they do things like this. I really don't.
And then he wins the WWE Championship on like a random episode of SmackDown overseas.
They finally bring back the 3 Stages of Hell match that we've been talking about for probably a decade.
Yeah.
And he wins.
Yes.
Finally. It's like,
yeah.
Wow.
Well, it was under his circumstances too. So. And if Cody would have touched him before that match, Cody would have been stripped of the title. So
that's a stipulation that they should do more of too.
I
like that stipulation.
I did. And I like how they did it too. They went to his house, had to sit down with him, and Cody showed up. That was like right before Christmas time. That was like a week before Christmas that they did that. That was cool. That was a cool thing that they did. And it was so cinematic too. Like I think they're trying so hard to outdo what AJ Styles and Undertaker did at WrestleMania with the cinematic stuff. They ain't gonna outdo that.
No.
It's gonna take a lot for anybody to outdo what Undertaker and AJ Styles did during the pandemic. Like cinematic wise too.
And I don't think they're really gonna ever do another cinematic type match unless it calls for it. Like it's, I don't know, the Wyatt 6 versus the Vision for whatever reason. Something like that.
But I mean, even cinematic segments like that,
that's fair.
They're trying to outdo it. I think the closest thing that came to outdoing, or at least coming close to matching up to what Undertaker and AJ did, didn't even happen in WWE. Happened in AEW when it was Sting and Darby Allin against I think Brian Cage and somebody else when they were in that like warehouse thing. I forget what pay-per-view was that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That was a hell of a cinematic match.
Yeah, that was good.
It kind of came close. I mean, did it outdo it? No, but it came close. Came close to matching it. So hats off to AEW for doing it. They went with the ball and they ran with it. And Stadium Stampede, the first one,
the best
did
one.
a really good job. The best one. You're right on that. Definitely was the best one. We have a new team in WWE, Cam. They're called Los Americanos. Yeah, led by El Grande Americano. They took on Javon Evans and OG Americano tonight, a.k.a. Jack Gable. And Javon Evans ends up picking up the win with an OG cutter, which looked freaking sick. I'll say this right now. Am I a fan of Javon Evans? No. Can the kid move in the ring? Is he good in the ring? Yes. He's got flash. He does really good things in the ring. Still not a fan of him. That OG cutter was sick. That was sick. Like, that was probably finish of the year. Finish of the year. And this is coming from a non-Javon Evans fan. Okay. That was the finish of the year so far in 2026. That was freaking sick. Him and OG El Grande end up picking up the win. Afterwards, El Grande Americano tries to attack them, but OG shuts that shit down real quick. Cam, are you liking the direction of this El Grande versus OG thing? You know, or are you not a fan of this?
No, not at all. It scares me too, because when you get the original or OG El Grande come out, it got this massive reaction tonight, probably the loudest reaction of the night. And I'm like, no, don't cheer for this, because we're going to get probably another 10 months to a year of 2 El Grandes on this program, and I don't want that. Because creative backstage is going to hear this and go, you hear that? They love El Grande. They're loving this. No, it's awful. It's terrible. You wasted 2, not 1, but 2 entrances in the Rumble for this.
Yes.
Why? I don't get it.
Finn Balor wasn't in the Rumble because of it.
Like, come on, man. Like, this, it's absolutely ridiculous. I love the fact that Chad Gable, who is, if you don't know, the original El Grande underneath the mask.
Yeah.
Love the fact that he's healthy. He's in phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
He's a freaking tank.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that he's healthy. I love the fact that he's in programming, at least, because it doesn't look like they're really carrying on or doing anything significant with American Made right now. They're just kind of used sparingly right now with the tag team division and Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile is probably the most active member right now. I think one of the guys in the tag team are injured. That would make sense.
Yeah, I think one of them's injured. I'll do my research real quick and check, but I believe one of them's injured. So,
but yeah, they're not. So it doesn't really look like they're doing anything significant with American Made. So, I just love the fact that he's in programming to some kind of extent. Now for me, I'm a big Javon Evans fan. I like the fact that tonight, again, you can kind of see it being put in motion that he's going to be another big babyface, I think, on this program. He's starting to get that reaction. He's starting to get the fans behind him. Even if you don't necessarily particularly care for his in-ring style, he's the highlight reel. He's the guy that if they open Raw and they're showing the video montages, he's going to be in there probably 2 or 3 times. He's giving them clips to show when they're promoting their next event, when they're if they ever decide to bring back house shows, he's going to be in the video package for that, to hype people up to want to buy tickets. So, and again, and that OG cutter that you said was phenomenal. That was insane. So again, he's got a bright future ahead of him. I want them to give him more time on the mic. I want them to actually showcase, not just use him as a highlight reel, but to showcase his personality. That's really going to be the glue, or even the final piece to his babyface push on this program. So overall, the match was the match, but he easily carried, I think. And he's, like I said, he's just a freaking highlight reel. So again, he's doing great work so far.
You ready for this about the Creed brothers? No one's injured. Oh. They are a highlighted tag team on WWE Main Event.
Wow. That's sad. That's pretty sad. Wow. Wow.
They're still represented as the American Made faction. They are. They're still being announced as part of the American Made faction, but they are a highlighted tag team on WWE's Main Event.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So, you don't do anything on Raw. Guess where you're going?
Main Event.
Main Event.
Our version of Collision.
Their version of Ring of Honor.
Wow. That's even worse.
It's Main Event. It's an internet show. Like,
well, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense then.
I think you can watch Main Event live on X. Like, I don't know what day, but I think you can watch it live on X.
Then that's more like AEW Dark then.
Yeah, but
Dark was on YouTube.
But Dark and Dark Elevation had some good matches. I'm not gonna lie, they did. When they first started, they had to really.
When they first started, yeah, they did.
They had some,
and then it just was like, okay.
Yeah, it kind of died away once they had Collision come along, and then Collision died off after the first 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Rampage died after week 1. So I kind of feel bad for the Creed brothers. Yeah, that's what don't make sense. Is
awful for them.
You did something with Obafemi last week with the Viking Raiders, and you pretty much killed them off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you got a tag team like the Creed brothers who you downgrade to Main Event for what reason? Like, your tag team division is in the shits right now.
Yes.
And you're downgrading guys to shows that happen on the internet for 1 hour a week. What are you fucking doing? Like, no wonder your tag team division's in the shits. Yeah. And the Usos are probably going to have like an 800-day run with the tag titles.
Probably.
I mean, they did have a great match against Tozawa and Otis tonight for the tag team titles, but they ended up retaining. Cam, your thoughts on that match, the tag team title match tonight? I thought it was a pretty good match for it being Tozawa and Otis. I thought it was going to be a little worse, and it was actually a pretty good match.
I mean, I think that's just basically off the backs of the Usos. I think they elevate any tag team they're in the ring with.
I can agree to that.
I think that's just what they bring. That's what they bring to the table. They bring their A game. They're essential for this tag team division, and for this tag team division to really have any kind of a pulse at all at this rate. So I mean, it was a defense for a defense. There was just nothing to it. They needed a title defense. They've held the championships for a little bit now without a title defense thus far. I know Jimmy was off on some personal family business as it was. That's why he wasn't around for the last couple of weeks. So yeah, it makes sense. Now, again, I don't know what we're doing for Mania. They definitely need a bigger feud, a bigger tag team going into Mania, assuming that they are still the tag team champions going into WrestleMania, which I would assume they will be. Overall, though, it was short and sweet. Wasn't nothing to it, really. I didn't see Otis and Tozawa winning the tag team titles, but it's about time. It's about time they did something with them, because 90% of the time I usually forget that they're even still together until a backstage segment happens, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about Otis and Tozawa. I forgot they were even still together. I forgot they were still a pairing. But my question is always, what are we doing with them? Are they a tag team? Is Otis a singles guy and Tozawa is just his manager, or vice versa? I have no idea. So tonight it was like, okay, now I know that these guys are actually a tag team, because I was just completely unaware. So it's just nice to see someone else get an opportunity in tag team division. So,
I mean, again, I think tonight they had a pretty good showing. I mean, did they prove that they can be like reliable challengers for the Usos moving forward? I think they could be, but do you take the chance of putting them on a pay-per-view stage? You know what I mean?
Mm.
I mean, maybe like WrestleMania, like the Usos were asked after the match, what's next and what's on the road to WrestleMania for you guys? My first thought was, we're going to see a fatal 4-way for those tag titles at Mania.
Yeah.
And I think Otis and Tozawa are going to be a part of that.
Yeah, I could see that.
Who says they don't walk out with them? Because we do have those moments at WrestleMania where something that isn't expected to happen. Yeah, and it does happen. Maybe that's going to be our shock of the event. of Tozawa and Otis walking out with the tag belts, and then the next night on Monday Night Raw they fucking lose them or something. Like, I could see them doing that to them. I mean, they did it to Cardona a few years back with the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, and nobody saw that coming.
Yeah.
So.
Won it at WrestleMania in a ladder match, and then the next, it was WrestleMania, I think 32, he did it. He won the ladder match in Dallas, and then the next night on Raw, he loses it to The Miz.
Yeah.
I get it. You wanted to get The Miz because The Miz was making that championship, but so many people were behind Matt Ryder, Cardona.
So many people.
Like, you know, you had his dad come in the ring and celebrate with the guy, and you make his run literally 24 hours. Like, that was Vinnie Mac for you, though.
Yeah.
I don't see Triple H doing something like that.
No.
I mean, he did it last year with the women's tag team titles, but it made sense because of Becky.
Yeah. Becky coming back, yeah.
Because look where we're at with Becky now.
So she's on a phenomenal heel run. So
sure is. Yeah, and that all started the day after Mania last year.
Yeah.
So, speaking of tag team partners, former tag team partners, Natty and Maxine, they had a one-on-one match. Did not last long. Natty just pretty much annihilated Maxine. She had her in a sharpshooter on the announce table, and then AJ Lee came out to help her, and Becky Lynch came out and attacked AJ Lee. I'm calling it next week on Raw. We get a tag match. Maxine and AJ against Natty and Becky, or somewhere along the lines in the future. I mean, this Natty run, I'll say this, Cam, I was paying attention to the Natty character before it hit WWE TV. I was watching what she was doing on GCW, what she was doing on the Indies. She went to the NWA and took it. I'm liking this Natty. I was never a Natalya fan. Never. But this Natty character is something different, dude. Your thoughts on the Natty character?
So, first of all, Natalya has been in WWE for quite some time.
20 years.
I think originally, like way back, I was sort of a fan of hers because she came in as like a redhead before she ultimately, you know, having blonde hair.
Yeah, she had like rose gold hair, and she was the manager for TJ and Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Yeah.
So
that run for me, I think, was a lot better than most of her recent stuff she's done.
Yeah.
I don't know why. There was just something different about her then. But in recent memory, I really haven't been a fan of Natalya. I mean, and she's flip-flopped from heel to face, and nothing has really been like drastically different from her face and heel turns, other than, you know, maybe a ring gear tweak here and there. That's about it. So I'm with you on that. I've really never been a Natalya fan either. So when she recently turned heel a couple of weeks ago on Maxine during Maxine's rematch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship against Becky Lynch, I was like, if they don't bring in this indie character that Natalya has created on the independents, I don't care for this. And they did it. They actually pulled the trigger, which shocked me. So she had a great showing at the Rumble. I loved her entrance. I like her new entrance theme tweak. It just fits her character. So I love the Natty character now. It's more serious. It seems like it's like I said, it's in the right placement. Her motivation going into matches, she's just like, screw winning. I'm just here to just inflict pain.
Yeah.
You know, I like that. So this was great. This was another, I lied to you. This was another great thing that I think easily saved Monday Night Raw tonight, was the fact that you went out there and you had Natty just go out there and just inflict pain. It was amazing. And that's a great call by you too. Next week, I could definitely see a tag team match, Natty and Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee and Maxine. I think that's a great call right there. So I don't mind it.
I mean, it only makes sense unless they have Maxine out for a while because she's injured. You know, it only makes sense for it to happen. You know, so I mean, because you can't do it at Chamber. You have Becky and AJ at the Chamber for the title. So, you know, you can't put that match on the Chamber. Would it be good for the Chamber? Probably. It would give the Natty character a bigger stage. It would give Maxine a bigger stage. So it would benefit those two. But yeah, Natalya, I always called Natalya. So here's the thing is when you would watch Natalya, even in the past, when she turned heel and she won the SmackDown Women's title a few years back, like she was a heel, but she was still like that babyface character. Like she would pan to the crowd and all that stuff. And then you watch her entrance, and I would just always call her WWE's video game character because the way she would make her entrance, she looked like she did in the video game. She just looked so robotic. And
Yes.
I'm like, and the reason why I say that is because even during her during her heel run, she would still pan to the crowd and be, if you play the video game, if you go into the options and make her a heel, she still does the same thing, but the crowd's kind of booing. And then you turn her to babyface, she does the same thing, and the crowd's cheering. Like, I'm like, that's she's reminding me of a video game character. That's what she's doing. Whether you turn her heel or turn her babyface.
Yeah.
You know, but now it's like, one thing she needs to get out of is the smiling thing. Like, put a more serious face on, and this character will click. Basically, what I think they need to do to her is what they did to Mark Henry a few years back. Did you ever hear the Mark Henry story on how he turned into the Hall of Fame?
I don't think so.
So he tells this story all the time, and this is Mark Henry's story. And I apologize to Mark Henry in advance if I butcher this story, but I've heard it so many times, I think I'll get it right. So he tells the story on how a couple of the guys would come up and say, like, you need to be a heel. Like, you're a big guy. You could be a killer in the ring. Like, you could make so much money if you would turn heel and become like this massive killer. So what they did to him on an episode of SmackDown after the show was a dark match, was he was supposed to face Rey Mysterio. So he goes to the ring, and you could find this video online too. The video, I think, is out there online too. Just look it up. Mark Henry gets mad after SmackDown. Like, I think that's what you have to look for. If I find it, I'll send it to you. You can watch it. He goes to the ring, makes his entrance. He's in the ring with the referee, and they play Rey Mysterio's music. Okay. Rey Mysterio doesn't come out. So he's standing there like, what the fuck? Where is he? Play Rey Mysterio's music again. Doesn't come out. They do it 3 times. And he gets so pissed off. He goes to the back, and nobody is to be seen. Vince was gone. Everybody was gone. Nobody's in Gorilla. He destroyed Gorilla Position, and they got it on film. He went to Vince a couple days later because Vince tried getting a hold of him. He said, I'm done. I quit. Like, you're not going to make a fool of me. Vince called him in, went to his office, showed him Mark Henry getting pissed, and said, that's what you need to be on TV. You will make a lot of money doing so. And that's how the Hall of Fame was born. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think that's what they should do to Natty. Piss her off. Like, just try and dig in to that inner, like, I don't know the right word to say, but just dig into that. Try and get her to get pissed the fuck off and make her just this massive, just go in and beat the shit out of people heel. Because she can do it. I mean, she's now running the new version of the Heart Dungeon. So why not? Get her to be a massive heel. I think they can go so far with this if they get that out of her.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think they could. I think they can make a lot out of this. It's all about getting her to stop smiling and stop pandering to the crowd the most she does, because she still kind of does it. So, last thing, Chamber qualifier, Lyra Valkyria, Rhea Ripley, Ivy Nile. Rhea Ripley ends up picking up the win. You know, that was a given. Did you think anybody else was going to win this match?
No, not at all.
I mean, Lyra said, oh, you know, it's time for Lyra Valkyria's name to get back on the map. Your name hasn't been on the map in the past year. The fuck are you talking about, Lyra? You're in a story with Bailey.
That's going nowhere, but
it's going nowhere. But get Lyra Valkyria's name on the map again. What are you fucking talking about?
No.
And Ivy Nile, I mean, like you said, she's the most active out of American Made. She is. She's the most active. If you count Chad Gable as the OG Americano, then she's still, I think, the most active because Chad is Americano. But yeah. So I don't know. Your thoughts on this Chamber qualifier? Again, Rhea Ripley was a surprise. No.
Yeah, I don't really have many thoughts on this match. It was okay. I mean, it was a little bit sloppy, I think, from these 3.
It was.
I mean, like I said, other than that, like I saw Rhea winning this match. Again, as I told you before, during the course of this match, unpopular opinion, probably. I don't like champions qualifying for Chamber or being in the Rumble or being in Money in the Bank. They don't need to be. I mean, unless you build something compelling enough to where I don't know, it makes sense to put another championship on them, I guess. But again, you have plenty of talent to put championships on and kind of spread the wealth a little bit, rather than having somebody walk around with two belts. It just doesn't make any sense. So that's just my opinion. I mean, I don't really see Rhea winning the Chamber either. I don't, but I could be wrong. I really could be. But I just think her focus should just be defending the women's tag team championships, which her and Io Sky have been doing a fantastic job of. They've had some great defenses thus far. So it's just weird to have them have title defenses and then them just immediately go back to them focusing on solo endeavors, trying to chase solo championships.
Yeah.
So yeah, just odd to me, but no surprise here. Again, Rhea is still, even with her being one half of the women's tag team champions, she's still one of the cornerstones of this company, one of the biggest names of the women's roster. So of course they're going to highlight her and put her in the women's chamber. So no shock here.
I mean, when they did the whole promo thing at the beginning, before the match even hit the ring, the only person that really stuck out to me was Ivy Nile. Like, her promo kind of hit me more than Rhea. And you know me, I'm a big Rhea fan. I am. But if I had to rate from 1 to 3, best to worst, as far as who cut the better promo in that 3-pack, Ivy Nile, Rhea Ripley, and Lyra Valkyria. Like, Ivy Nile did a great job. And she did a great job in this match tonight. She didn't do bad. It was more so you seen the like you said, there was a little bit of a mess. And I was going to say to you, Lyra looked like she was getting a little gassed. Like she did. She looked like she was starting to really just like, it's taking a toll on her in a sense.
She really hasn't had a lot of matches either on Monday Night Raw here lately.
She hasn't.
That kind of makes sense.
You want to get your name back on the map. I'm just saying. Just fucking saying. Not a good way to get your name back on the map. I didn't even know it was gone, but
Oh man.
Even if you're not in a match, we still do see you on TV almost every other week.
That's very true.
But Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton are the only 2 women that are inside the women's chamber right now. We got 4 more entrances to go. We're going to have more qualifiers on SmackDown, more qualifiers on Raw to finish it off. I believe they're going to have every qualifier by next week, I think. So we should have the 2 chamber matches set by next Monday night, if not next Friday night.
Is there a mystery opponent in one of the qualifiers for the women?
I don't know.
I could have swore I saw that being advertised tonight. Unless I'm going crazy. I could have swore. Maybe
Let
not.
me look.
I don't know.
Let me look. So from SmackDown, what's the date this Friday? The 13th, right? Yeah, this week's Friday the 13th.
Oh Lord.
Wow. So preview for SmackDown this week. It's going to be a triple threat between Cody, Jacob, and Sammy for a qualifier. We're going to get Jade Cargill against Jordan Grace for the women's championship. We're going to get Alexa Bliss, Julia, and Zelina Vega in a qualifier match. And then Rhea Ripley and ER defending the tag titles against Nia Jax and Lash Legend. That's the card for SmackDown this week. So
I could have swore
the only thing I seen that had like a surprise on any graphic tonight, as far as surprise, was who was going to be Javon Evans' tag team partner.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
When they showed the graphic, it was Los Americanos against Javon Evans, and it had question mark on who was going to be his tag partner. So, I mean, it was pretty given who it was going to be. Like they didn't have to keep it a fucking surprise. They didn't.
It wasn't really a surprise.
Really wasn't. Like, You're telling me it's not going to be OG Americano? Who's it going to be? Hornswoggle? Like, jeez. That's Monday Night Raw from Cleveland, Ohio on February 9th, 2026. Cam, I don't know. Do you want to do Superstar of the Night? Who do you got? Who was your Superstar of the Night?
I almost didn't have one until that CM Punk and Finn Balor segment. So my Superstar of the Night, I would say it would have to be CM Punk.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, once again, he's just he's elevating I think the title right now. And it honestly would be nice if he does it well in a shocker if he would retain at Mania.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't have to question whether or not he's going to be on Raw. He's probably going to be on Raw. He's on Raw every week, pretty much. And not only that, but like I said, he's elevating Finn Balor. It doesn't seem like they want to highlight Finn Balor in any other feud. So this seems to me the most important Finn Balor solo feud since probably Edge, which is a while ago. Yeah, I know. That's a while ago. Every other feud has been him and Judgment Day, or Judgment Day and Finn Balor, him and JD McDonough. Like, when have you had a feud with Finn Balor that's felt this important? Not in a while. So again, I got to give it to CM Punk because I think he's just elevating this feud. I think he's getting the best out of Finn Balor right now. So yeah, like I said, right now he's just again, I think he's the centerpiece right now for Monday Night Raw. So got to give it to CM Punk.
Yeah, I had a hard time giving my Superstar of the Night tonight too. I mean, it's almost like really nobody stood out for me to really say, "Hey, you were my Superstar of the Night." So I'm going to shock the shit out of you. My Superstar of the Night was John Evans.
That's fair. I'm not shocked at all. That's fair.
I mean, yeah, but I'm not a fan of him, and that's why it's the shock of like, wow, Mike's saying Javon. And you know me, I'm a fair guy. I'm unbiased. Even if I don't like somebody, I'm still gonna talk him up. Why would I not? Like, I can't sit here and ignore the obvious. And he had a great showing tonight. He did. I mean, if not him, Ivy Nile had a great showing tonight. So I have to go Javon Evans. If I had to pick a second, it would be Ivy Nile. So CM Punk and Finn Balor would be 3 and 4. But yeah, Javon Evans tonight, my Superstar of the Night. Camel, last segment of the night on this day. I'm looking at this on this day, man, and not a lot has happened on February 9th. We had something happen back in 1982 at a live event in Miami, Florida. The Masked Midnight Rider defeated Ric Flair to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. 1998, on an episode of Nitro, the main event was Rick and Scott Steiner. They won the WCW tag titles against Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. And Goldberg took on Steven, a.k.a. William Regal. 2007, Plainville, Indiana. There was an IWA at IWA/MS Payback. There was an event there. 2008, there was a show out in New York for a company. 2013, there was a tribute show for PWS. It was like a thank you Jerry show. I guess it was for Jerry the King Lawler, I'm guessing. And then in 2021, on an episode of Impact, the Good Brothers defended the tag titles against James Storm and Chris Sabin. Not a lot. And ODB made her return at that episode of Impact. That's what happened on this day. Not a lot. Really nothing. Nothing to really talk about. There's sometimes going to be those days, you know? So, but that's it. That's all we got for you guys. Cam, your socials are going to be on the bottom. Make sure you're heading over to Cam's social medias after the show, hitting that follow button, especially on Cam's Wrestling Corner. I'm not just telling you this because this man is digitally sitting next to me. Cam's Wrestling Corner, I promise you, if you're looking for a fair assessment to pro wrestling, fair thought to pro wrestling, go to Cam's Wrestling Corner and check it out. I'm telling you, the videos are great. Cam, what do you got going on?
Well, like I said, mainly keep up with me on Cam's Wrestling Corner. That's where I post primarily most of my personal content. So keep up with me on there. Like I said, posting videos about SmackDown, Raw, TNA, AEW, you name it. So definitely keep with me there. And then as far as the networks right here on River City Radio, every single Monday night with me and Metalcore Mike, talking about some Monday Night Raw. We are on the fast track to Elimination Chamber, so hyping up for that. Predictions will be coming out probably within the next 2 weeks or so. So stay tuned for that, for probably here on the podcast. I don't know. We still have to discuss that. And of course, I definitely will be doing a prediction show, me personally, on Cam's Wrestling Corner. So stay tuned for all that as well. And then of course on Wednesday night, right here on River City Radio again on the Boom, after AEW Dynamite, talking about some AEW Dynamite with the addition of Mr. Phil Khan. And then, of course, on the Huddle Hub podcast every single Sunday morning, talking about some football. So stay tuned for that as well. A lot of content coming out for you guys. Love and appreciate all you guys come by and checking out the stream tonight.
We got about 18 days until Chamber, so we'll definitely be doing our predictions for Chamber the Monday before Chamber. I mean, the matches are already set, minus the competitors for the Elimination Chamber matches. So we'll definitely be doing our predictions here the Monday before Elimination Chamber. So make sure you're heading over to Cam's social medias, hitting that follow button, and checking out everything that he's doing, especially here on the networks and over on the Huddle Hub podcast as well. Instagram, X, TikTok, Snapchat, Middle Mike 714 is where you can find me. I don't do much on my personal social medias. I do Fortnite lives on TikTok once in a while. All my content creating is here on the shows, whether it's on the Table Spot on Monday nights, on the Boom Wednesday nights with Cam and Phil, or over on the Huddle Hub podcast, twitch.tv/the Huddle Hub podcast, youtube.com/@the Huddle Pod. Did the post Super Bowl show this morning. A couple of the videos are out on social media right now over on TikTok at the Huddle Hub Pod and over on the YouTube at the Huddle Hub Pod. You can go check those out. And then this Sunday morning, we normally go live at 10:30 a.m. We're going to be live at 11 this Sunday because there's no games. It's just going to be news and just other stuff to talk about this Sunday. So 11 a.m. this Sunday morning will be the next episode of the Huddle Hub podcast. And then Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. Appreciate everybody who came out tonight. Check out the show. We will see you guys on Wednesday night for the Boom. Be good to each other, be kind to each other, take care of each other, be patient with each other. Remember, the world is not moving as fast as you think. Until Wednesday night, deuces, everybody.